Welcome back to the Gamekeepers Cottage Diaries. Welcome back to Gamekeepers Cottage. It's the 24th of May and I can't believe it's only been a month since I was here last at Easter. And what a change we have already with the roses that I planted when I was here. So these are the Olivia Rose Austin roses that I planted in these two planters. And as you can see, the blooms that are on here are past their peak, as they've been blooming for about a couple of weeks now. But both plants are absolutely covered in roses. We'll need to start thinking about some deadheading soon. And also, if we look under here for this one, you can see that we have some tiny little flowers on the thyme as well. So all in all, these planters are starting to look very nice. But let's carry on with a tour around the rest of the plot. As you can possibly see, it's rather damp here today, so I'm probably not going to walk all the way around the whole plot, but we'll wander around and take little pictures every so often just to see what we've got. But this is just a general scene. You can see how green everything is. But let's just start down here. This is the border in front of the breakfast room, and as you can see, we've got a few little pink plants coming out, and we've also got the Gelder rose here that we planted back at the end of January, which has a nice lot of leaves on it. But I'm going to wander over now and have a look around the hedge. Just as we wander around, this is the lounge bed. So as you can see, the hot lips salvia that we planted 2 years ago is absolutely massive, although there are a lot of nettles in with it as well. We really need to get this bed under control. The lavenders are also, you can see down in there, the little purple spikes of them. Now this rose, I've always wondered what this is. I'm thinking it's a type of wild rose. So you can see the flowers are quite delicate and small compared with the David Austin rose. But this has been here many years. So it was here, I think, when we bought the property. And again, as we carry on round, more of the pinky purpley flowers. I'm not quite sure what those are. I have to try and remember what we planted there. And then as we come round to the hedge here, you can see we're starting to get some development and growth. The dog rose that was looking a bit dead there has actually started putting out a new shoot, so that's good news. And as we carry on round here, more of the hawthorns and another one of the roses here growing up. This rose did have some flowers on it a week or two ago. You can see they've died back now, but we will leave those to go to seed and hopefully they'll grow again in future. I'm going to walk round to the other side of the arbor seat now. So as you can see, round this side of the arbor seat, and this massive monster dog rose has got quite a number of little blooms on it. You can see one there and a couple more up there. I probably need to retrain this as it is getting a bit bent, but this is turning out to be quite a rose bush. So in that area there is already looking like quite a thick hedge. Let's wander on round now to this area, and again this side of the hedge No flowers to be seen down here at the moment. You can see there is quite a lot of greenery. So we wander around now to the rest of the hedge. So this is another one of the dog roses, again with the flowers on it. And these were the hedge plants that we planted again the end of January this year. So they also are starting to show quite a bit of leaves. Those, I think, that is one of the oaks in there. You can see those oak leaves, and that I think is a spindle. And we've also got the hawthorns, etc. But all in all, they are giving the start of quite a nice hedge. But let's wander over now and have a look in the orchard and vegetable area. On my way to the orchard, I've just stopped with these few remaining hedge plants that we put in January, February, and again some nice development on those as well in terms of leaves. You'll remember that when we were here last time, back at Easter, there was an abundance of blossom. That has all gone now, but if we look at the cherry tree, you can see that we are starting to get green cherries on there. These cherries never actually seem to come to maturity. The birds get them all before we're able to actually get them when they're ripe, but maybe this year we'll get lucky. And now as we wander over to the raspberry bush, this is actually quite a surprise, having been away for a month. When I was here at Easter, it was down there somewhere, I think, and now it's about 4 foot tall. We do have a little flower down there. This is obviously an autumn fruiting raspberry bush, so we're not expecting any fruits until probably August, September time, but it is looking like it is going to provide us with some, so we'll come back, keep an eye on that and see how it does. But while we're here, let's just wander over and take a look at our 2 fruit trees that we planted last year. So this is the nectarine tree, and as you can see, we've got a nice lot of leaves on here, and that, I'm not sure whether that is a leaf that's died or the beginnings of a fruit, but this plant does look like it's starting to get healthy and grow some nice leaves. And again, as we move over to the apricot tree, also it's now about 7 foot tall, so it's grown quite a lot in the last month or so. And while we're here, just looking at the apple and pear trees, no fruits starting yet, but you can see all of the blossoms have gone. Actually, looking over here, you can see the beginnings of some small pears on the pear trees. But let's just finish this little tour with a wander around over to the stable area and just see what's going on with the hedge over there. So you can see, as we look out towards the road, again another rose there, wild rose with its pretty little pink flowers. And as we pan round to this side to the mature hedge, this was white with hawthorn blossom a couple of weeks ago, but that has all gone over now. But as you can see, we have the starting of the actual hawthorns themselves. As we wander along to the blackberry patch, you can also see in there the start of the berries. It'll be a few months before they're actually properly ready, but everything is starting to show signs of life now. Got some little hoverflies I can see and some bees up in there. Let's wander down to the corner now and just have a look at the new hedge that we planted. So on our way down to the hedge, the flowers in these pots, again I'm not sure what they are, but they come back every year. So these were things we planted a couple of years ago. But as we wander down into this corner, you can see all of the berries on the hawthorn. We get down into here. So somewhere in here are the willow and the oak that we planted again this year. I think that is the willow there. It's being a bit overgrown, and the oak is somewhere down in there. I will probably try and dig some of this out and get rid of some of the overgrowth at the bottom. But this hedge is actually starting to look like a proper hedge here now, so it's really filling itself out. Again, there is actually a full tree in the middle of it. That's actually over the other side, so that's not something we planted, that's in the field next door. And again, another one of these pretty little pink roses. I think that is probably one that I planted as part of our original hedge on the gate. So the gate hedge that we planted first of all. But for a plot tour, that's probably it for the moment. Unfortunately, I'm here for a weekend, and after weeks of hot weather and sunshine, it's looking like a pretty dire weekend. But I'll see what I can do over the weekend while I'm here. I may just tack a few bits on to the end of this video just to show what I got done, if there's not enough clips for a proper video, but we'll see. I'm just going to insert this in here because it's one thing I forgot as I was walking around. This is the little woodland planter that we also planted back at Easter time. As you can see, a lot of the plants are filling out nicely. The Heuchera here has got its little bells. It's called coral bells, is one of the other names for this plant. And you can see why when you look at these delicate little flowers. And then we've got the Serbian bellflower down under there, which is also expanding out nicely. And a fern as well over the back. So all in all, that's another little planter that's starting to develop nicely. It's 2 days later, the Monday, the day I'm due to leave Gamekeepers Cottage, and I thought I would just update you on what I got done over the weekend. So the first thing, I deadheaded some of the roses, as some of them had started to go over, so hopefully we'll get some repeat blooms from those. And then if I step back and show you the paving slabs, we've actually put some creeping phlox in amongst the gaps in the hope that it will cover over some of the edges. We'll see how that goes. Obviously one main thing we did was to mow the lawn, which is quite a job in itself. And I've also tied up a couple of the wild roses. So this one, if you remember, was previously a attached to the top of the arbour seat, but we didn't really like the way it looked. So we've now tied it in and we're hoping to trail it along the top of the fence here. So we'll see how that goes. And also with some of the others, this one here we have also tied in against the fence to try and get it to go in that direction rather than sticking out across the path. But now let's just wander over to the orchard area for a final look at what we did over there. Again, we did some more mowing around the vegetable area. I've also cleared out around the raspberry bush to give that a bit of space. And similarly, we wander over and look at the two fruit trees. We also mown around those and just cleaned out around the base of them. We also have this plum tree over here, which was starting to collapse a bit, so I've tried propping that up with a length of wood. It produces the plums, so we'll hopefully see if it carries on producing now we've propped it up a bit. But that's it for a fairly short weekend here at Gamekeepers Cottage. I'll probably be back in a month or so, but until next time, goodbye. All that remains is for me to thank you for watching and to ask that if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and join us in the comments below to help the channel grow. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.